So this is the team that I've been using to farm skill ups for Zaerog Infinity. It basically relies on Zeus and Hera's leader skill, which gives you an extra 3 seconds of orb movement, as well as plenty of damage when you're at high health and no damage when you're at low health. The skill ups here that really matter are basically Valkyries and Dark Izanamis. Everybody else doesn't really need to be skilled up. You really don't need any of them to be skilled up, but it's helpful. Floor 1 is really straightforward. Just mass attack something or two-prong light and you're basically fine. I don't think I've ever died on floor 1 and I've run this dungeon quite a few times. So you're basically fine there. Floor 2 is a fairly important floor, but it's okay if you mess it up, as you'll get a chance to see in this video. I'll talk more about how to do floor 2 well when we get to floor 6, which is the same. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to match light orbs and then 2 or 3 other off colors. And what that'll do is it'll leave 1 or 2 of the dragons alive, and that'll let you basically stall indefinitely to get Zeus and Hera skills up. Of course, I fell light, so whatever. Good news, you can actually stall on floor 3 also. The key here is because your friend Zeus and Hera has a dark subcolor, as long as you match a dark, you won't be able to kill them. So what I do here is I two-prong light, and then I put a dark set in there as well. So as long as you get a two-prong light in here, you'll kill 2 of them, and you'll leave the other one alive. And again, even if you did 5 two-prong lights, as long as you got a dark in there, that guy will stay alive. So I think in the course of this video I stall a few more times here, just making sure that I'm matching darks. It was a mistake there for me to use all of my dark orbs. That was really quite silly. But Zeus and Hera and Dark Izanami give you 3,500 auto heal, which basically means, you know, with that kind of attack timer 2, you've got plenty of time to get back up to health before he hits you again. So in each one of these, I'm basically just wasting time. You know, I'm using up orbs, making sure I get a dark in there, keep the guy alive so that I can charge those 38 turn gravities. The gravities are quite necessary. They're basically the only damage multipliers that you have in this team, and you really need those on floor 8 for the heavy metal dragon, and then floor 10 when you're trying to get through Zaerog Infinity himself. So this was a spot where I ran out of dark orbs, so I think I just matched a red up top or something and hoped that I'd get a dark skyfall, which is what we'll see here. I did, yay. Just means, I get to stall an extra turn. I found when I was using this team that I often didn't even use the time extend. Lots of times you may notice that I'm dropping the orb well before that time runs out. I've come to really enjoy this team. It's been really fun. The next floor, you have a choice of several different dragons that'll show up, and the one that I got happens to be the worst. Her first hit automatically drops you under 50%, which means you can't do anything for damage. This is where Dark Izanami really starts to shine here. She's going to let you take hits and get your health back up to meaningful values. So in this next turn, this hit might have dropped me under. I think that one actually lets you stay above. But basically, Dark Izanami is going to let you sort of take hits and trade values here. The only recommendation that I can give you here is make sure that you're checking out PDX. You're using whatever, informational database program that you have to just sort of understand what these dragons do and how you're going to kill them, how you're going to attack them. The one that has a dark subtype is super easy. I was really bummed when I got leader bound here. I thought that might have been the end. But I'll mention again, the 3,500 auto heal on this team really goes a long way. Trying to think about what other dragons are available here. The one that has red in it is okay, I think, because her first turn she charges up. Ooh, interesting point here. When she gives you a bunch of heal orbs, I think you want your strategy to be use all of them. Because if you leave a bunch of them, there's a chance that she'll turn them into poison, and you really don't want to be dealing with a lot of poison orbs on this team. It can be managed, but it's hard. I think I mentioned the one with a dark subtype is really easy because you've got a ton of light damage. On top of that, he actually spends 2 turns blinding you, which, I don't know, even if he blinds you, whatever, you can clear it. And you just need light orbs. It's not a big deal. Lots of times here, whoa, almost died there. Lots of times here I'll use my orb changers. Don't be worried about using orb changers here because you're going to find soon you get lots of time to recharge your skills on floor 6. So feel free to blow whatever you need to here to sort of get through these two dragons. I'm not going to get much time to talk about the next floor because I get through it so quickly. That's another one where you're dealing with 5 potential dragons. Dark is by far the easiest one for you to deal with. In my opinion, green is the hardest one to deal with, just because he'll hit you every turn, and he has the potential to hit you for 7,000 damage, which I think even Dark Izanami's skill doesn't save you on. So if you get green, just blow everything and hope for the best. One of the great things about Zeus&Hera is that the 3 seconds of orb movement time really gives you lots of time to be able to, to move orbs around and make good combos and get high combo counts. I was amazed at how many times in this runs I ended up with like 10 combos. I feel like I'm not that great. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm okay at this game, but I how about this? I can never play a Dark Anubis team. Um, So here I ended up with the blue one. The blue one is also probably fairly hard for this team. You just need to make sure you hit hard. I think he's got fairly high armor, but um, low actual health. So I went ahead and used my Elia cooldown here, figuring that I'd be able to recharge that later. I think that ended up being a really complicated combo. I probably could have made that simpler. So yeah, that one's down. Floor 6. Here's an opportunity for us to see this stall done properly. Usually you don't end up with 4 Pengdras and not 3 light orbs. This was actually really hard on me. I don't remember what I did. I think I mass attacked light and maybe did it 2-prong green. Let's see what I did. Oh, mass attack green. Okay. The idea is the dragons have 30,000 armor. So as long as nobody hits over 30,000, you're fine. I used Dark Izanami there to help me take that hit. You'll notice here that my health is orange, so I'm under 50%. That means I won't do a lot of damage. It's almost impossible to kill those dragons if you're under 50% health. You have to like 3 2-prong light. So I was safe doing a 2-prong light here because I don't have any multiplier. The Pengdra don't have armor, which means you can just crank through it. Now the deal here is you just get to stall all day long. You'll notice what I just did right there. If I am over 50% health, I basically don't make a match because I don't want to accidentally skyfall like a 2-prong light. You can do it if you want, but it can get a little dangerous. If you're under 50%, match as hard as you want to. Feel free to just kind of go crazy on it. If there are 2 of them that are alive, you can totally manage that. If there are 2 of them that are alive, you will basically never get above 50% health. So if 2 of them are alive, what you basically have to do is you have to keep pinging until one of them dies. I hope I didn't leave this regular speed for the whole thing. I might have, oh well. But anyway, the idea here is you want to store up a bunch of light orbs. That's the other thing to say about floor 6. Even if you can take them down, you really want to have lots of orbs ready for yourself. What you go into next, floor 8, you really need to be able to hit hard with. And so if you don't have a lot of orbs, it means you have to use your orb changers, and you really don't want to be using your orb changers. You really need to be saving those. So anyway, match slowly, match carefully, make sure you don't accidentally send yourself forward without those gravities. If you don't have those gravities, you're toast. I have never successfully made it through one of these runs if I didn't have my gravities. Yeah, sorry, I left this normal speed here. Oh well. So I think I ended up matching. Yeah, I ended up matching way too much stuff here. This was actually kind of a bummer. I ended up using a lot of my light orbs. On the one hand, this is kind of an ugly clear. A lot of my clears are a lot cleaner than this, but I'm happy to post this one because it means you get to see it working. Here, my experience has been that a 2-prong light and then just a normal match of lights is enough. If you've got two prongs, you're set. If you've got a 2-prong and just another light, be careful. You'll notice Athena's damage there was 324,000. I think for those guys, you need to be hitting, somewhere in the high 280s to kill them. So I just barely pulled that one off. So here you use a gravity, which knocks their health really low, and then feel free to use Valkyrie. You will always get a chance to recharge Valkyrie, so don't be timid about using her skill. And the idea here is you just want to 2-prong as hard as you possibly can. I might kill them in 1 turn here. I don't remember how well this goes. Okay, never mind. I Skyfell Light. I'm sure it'll be fine. You should target Heavy Metal Dragon. It's not super necessary. Yeah. So now we get to the most challenging floor in the whole thing. Because I don't know. I'm not that amazing at comboing. Having Zeus&Hera's 3 seconds of movement time here is amazing. With that said, even with that, I spend quite a bit of time planning these combos. Don't feel bad about taking time planning the combos and making sure you hit 6. The last thing you want to do is spend 20 minutes stalling to get here and then dying. You do need to get 17 hits in the first 2 hits, otherwise he will one-shot you. So now he applies a 1-second time debuff. I think about it really hard. Really, really hard. This is moving at like 20 times speed while I think for 2 or 3 minutes. Make sure you get your 6 combos in. So, yeah, you get your 6 combos in. Important step next here. He is capable of one-shotting you here if you do not kill him. So using Dark Izanami is a great thing here. Once you use Dark Izanami, you have 2 turns to kill him. If you do not kill him in 2 turns, you will be totally out of luck on the next floor. Here I decided to kind of try and not go for the kill. I also didn't have light orbs, but I wanted to show you that you don't have to kill him here. It helps to get your Valkyrie charged up here. If I had killed him a 1-shot there, it's okay because Elia's active actually has a skill haste on it, which means you'll end up coming back up. What you want to start doing here is you want to start preparing your board with as many light and dark and heart orbs as you can, because you need all the help you can get to get through this last floor. So you kill him, you get into this next phase, and Zaerog Infinity in his evolved form puts up a couple of things. The number one thing he does is he gives 75% damage reduction, which means with this team there's no way you're going to kill him on this turn. This is the other reason you have Dark Izanami. If you have a buff on your team, he will spend his first turn removing that buff. So as long as Dark Izanami's buff is still up, or if you can put it up now, he will waste his first turn. So what I spent all that time doing right there was thinking about how many light and dark and heart orbs I had, and I decided to match red. Not entirely sure why, but I sort of wanted to try and end up with 16 light orbs, and I didn't want to overdo things. At this point, blow everything. Use your gravity, use your orb changes, enhance with Athena, and then basically just 2-prong as hard as you can. I think I ended up here with 3 2-prongs and a 5-orb match. 4 2-prongs will definitely do it. 3 2-prongs with 3 additional combos will do it. It's sort of important. You sort of have to figure out what your own team's damage thresholds are. Every team will look like this, but my Athena's plus 297, so just be aware of that. Good luck.